Oh, where's my hair today? Anyway, it is the 17th of May. Got a big Finish package today. And it is the War Doctor Begins Comrades in Arms. So, yeah, again, I haven't listened to this at the time of recording this. I've only just finished listening to Volume 1 of Series 3 of the Ninth Doctor Adventures, which I can recommend. But this, something I will be mentioning is this, along with the next box set, will probably be among some of the last physical Big Finish releases I'll be getting. And the reason is basically pricing. I can't afford to keep getting these anymore. I don't have much space for them either, but the main thing is obviously price. I've got to save some money where I can. So, yeah, I'm generally just going to be getting digital copies, with the exceptions of if it's like a special release, for example, the 60th anniversary specials, I pre-ordered them. And yeah, it's annoying that they're not continuing doing vinyl records and that anymore. Yeah, with the Ninth Doctor Adventure Series 3, they're just doing CDs. And I believe it's down to one, cost, but also poor sales. Yeah, it's a weird Big Finish where CD, getting a CD release, is just like, not everything there even gets that anymore. It seems to be moving more digital, and yeah, but there we go. There we go. Interestingly though, with the Ninth Doctor releases, they still have individual cases. Yeah. With all individual artworks, which is weird considering that the only reason they were doing that in the first place is because they were getting vinyl releases, so obviously, you can't just do the one artwork for the vinyl release, make it a bit more special. So, at one stage, I reckon that they were due to have a vinyl release at one point, at least that was the plan, but yeah, that plan for various reasons and that fell through, but yeah, there we go. Okay, so it's the 24th of May today. Got a big brown box. And I'm trying to work out where to cut into it. There, I think. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what it is, because whoever's packaged this has put it in a larger box than necessary, so it does feel very light. But we'll have a look. Yeah, it's mainly a load of bubble wrap and that inside. Back's just empty bubble wrap, although keep that because that can be reused. And yeah, this is the size of the thing that was in there. Okay. So they did package it very well, which is a shame because the thing itself is kind of coming away. So this is the Supreme Dalek from Day of the Daleks 3 3/4 inch figure, and it is the only, I think it's the only 3 3/4 inch Dalek I don't have, other than the single carded release of Dalek Sec. I never got that one, and I never got, I think, the electronic moving Dalek with sensor arm, or the electronic moving assault one, if that was a one. But I did get them otherwise in that Argos set. But yeah, this is the only major variant that I didn't have, and this one didn't get really a proper release in the UK. The only time I ever saw this in the UK, in a UK shop, was Forbidden Planet, but they wanted $9.99, and at the time, you know, these retailed for $6.99, so yeah, I wasn't having that. Yeah, the thing is though, and this is the problem with a lot of the packaging on these, is that they're just taped down. The bottom is actually stuck down. That is actually stuck down with glue, but the sides are actually taped down, and unfortunately the tape is coming away, just due to time and heat and that as well. The same thing happened, has happened on my 3 3/4 inch prototypes. Basically, the sellotape has essentially started coming away and just coming to goo, because the flaps are basically pushing the tape upwards constantly. So, yeah, but there we go. There we go, the Supreme Dalek from Day of the Daleks, which is inaccurate because of, obviously, the next section, because, yes, even at this time with this release, it was still incorrect. But yeah, the 3 3/4 inch Daleks were easily the best or the highlight of the 3 3/4 inch range, because, you know, there wasn't a major loss in detail with them, generally. Weirdly though, the 3 3/4 inch NSDs only had 4 rings on their eyes, whereas the classic ones maintained their 5 rings. The NSDs should have 6. But yeah. The only thing that annoying me is the way that the housing works for the eye stalk on these, and also painted dome lights. But yeah, these are generally pretty nice. Pretty nice, and it was a way to sort of get some, you know, types of classic figures, you know, back into the shops. But yeah, this one was a right pain in the arse to get. How much did I pay for this again? Because I honestly cannot remember off the top of my head. Okay, so I paid £8 plus £5.20 postage, which seems like a lot for this. And I think it is, really. I won't pay any more. But the price on these things, especially brand new in box, can get pretty steep, particularly for this one. So yeah, so that would have just came to just over 13 quid. So yeah, although again, saying that is not much more than I was able to physically get it in a shop, and that back when it was brand new. But yeah, there we go. That is basically all of them. So I think this one, along with the Day of the Daleks Supreme, are the rarest. Again, you can find them, but I think this one is rarer though. The Day of the Daleks Supreme though, I actually have 2 of them. And I think I told this story before, but the Day of the Daleks 3 3/4 inch Supreme, basically Home Bargains at one point got a wave of these, and they were selling them at £3 each. And one day me and my brother walked in there, and they had 2 Supreme Daleks left, so we each got one. And one day, I think it was a few months later, I got a phone call from my brother saying I've forgotten my school planner. Now, the way it worked at our high school is that if you had forgotten your school planner, basically you had to spend the day in isolation, which is basically you were sat in a cubicle facing a blank wall unless you were lucky and got the one seat that was facing out a window, and just had to sit there, no talking or anything, do what, like, it was like bloody, seriously, like, God, it was worse than bloody prison. Honestly, just sit there in this cubicle, in this dark cubicle, because there was never any bloody decent light in the room, just facing a wall in a walled-off cubicle, and that with a teacher literally sitting in the centre of the room, just looking at you all constantly. But anyway, to avoid that, you know, if someone could bring your school planner in, then you get out of isolation. And he rang me, realising, luckily, before he started school, that was the case. Alexa, stop. That was the case, and so I think I was on study leave at the time, I think. Or either that, I was looking for a job at the time. Anyway, I was at home, so I was able to bring his planner in, and as a reward for thank you, he gave me, and he wouldn't imagine doing anything like this today, but because that was back when he was nice. He's not anymore. He gave me his Planet Supreme. So yeah, which my brother now, when he does get Doctor Who figures now, he'll get generally the Dalek sets. He'll always get the Dalek sets and the TARDIS set, but he never opens them. In fact, normally they're bashed up to bits, and I've got an example to show you. This was his, and this is the condition of it. This is still unopened, I think. Yeah, but this is how he treats his stuff. And he's bloody 19 years old, and that's how he treats it. So yeah, but the thing is, like, he doesn't open them. He's not bothered. The only reason he gets them is basically to sell them later on. That's the only reason and that's not goes with Doctor Who stuff. Basically, if it isn't something for his PS5, he will just buy it and later wait to sell it at a later date. Because basically nothing means anything to him. But anyway, that was a bit of a rant and that there about my brother. But yeah, there we go, people. There we go. Alright, so it's the 10th of June today. So I went into flea market today, and I spotted this, which is the Jong-Sim Master figure from End of Time. You can see it's brand new in box. I do actually already have this figure. When it was, I remember I got mine for $6.99 at Forbidden Planet back in 2011. But obviously that one I'd actually opened. I actually cut the back bit out. So yeah, but this one is brand new sealed, and it will be staying that way. Now it's hard to tell with that on there, but yeah, the price that they wanted was £8 for it, but I offered them £7, and yeah, they took £7. What I do really like about these boxes is you've got David Tennant there on the right, and then on the left on this one, or the left of the cat, well, the way I'm holding it, it's on the right when you're facing it. You got Jong-Sim there, which so I can see there, but yeah. However, if you got either the 10th Doctor or 11th Doctor figure from this wave, it would have Max Smith on the other side. And I think that was the case. I don't know if that was the case for the narrator, aka Rassilon figure. I don't know. I can't remember. I do have the. I think I have. Do I have that figure? No, I don't think I ever got that figure individually released. I got it in one of the very early B&M sets. Yeah, but there we go. I remember, yeah, just like, oh look, the holographic sticker and everything. But yeah, this was a really good price for this, especially brand new in box. But yeah, I remember when this wave came out, and the figure that I wanted when it first came out, I think it came out in January actually, not long after the episode aired. But the one I wanted was the regenerated 11th Doctor, and I remember I went into town and I had a look in Forbidden Planet, I had a look in Phoenix, John Lewis and Argos, and all of them basically all of them either had the narrator figure or they had 10th Doctor figures. None of them had the regenerated 11th Doctor. And we, were on our way back home, and we just popped into our local Asda, and they had them just in our local Asda, which isn't a huge, massive one. It's not tiny, but it's like, it's a regular size, not a massive one, and they had them because they just put the box out. So yeah, don't get stuff like that generally now, especially at Asda of all places. But something else I got, which is at the bottom of this bag. I spotted these in a charity shop. So it's the Fury from the Deep cassettes, Power of the Daleks cassettes, and Evil of the Daleks cassettes. Now, if you noticed, all of them have a price tag on them of £2. However, when I took them to go pay for them, because I've already got, multiple copies of all of these books. Yeah, I just thought might as well for, how cheap they are. When it came up at the till, the woman charged me, I'm going to look for that receipt actually, somewhere in here, but she only charged me £1.50 for all three, yeah, all three. Where's the receipt? That's the one. And interestingly, look, it's listed. Somebody's saying it's a DVD. Yeah, she didn't scan anything on that. She just put it in the system as that. So yeah, very odd, but yeah, happy to get those three at that price. So yeah, there we go. Okay, that's in the way of the camera. It's the 12th of June today, and it's absolutely boiling. Like really, really fucking hot today. In fact, it might be the hottest day of the year so far. I'm not quite sure. Okay, I was wondering what this was, and it's a Big Finish. So this is Once and Future Past Lives Special Edition. Yeah, I'm surprised it's just in a regular jewel case like that. There's, apart from like the artwork on the front, there's nothing else special about it. I don't know if this is going to come eventually when you get all of them, because I have to read the description again about it. But I don't know if it's going to come in with some sort of box to slide them all in. I don't know, but yeah, this is the first one of them. And in terms of this story, Past Lives, it's not a bad opener to it. It is not a bad opener. It features the return of the Meddling Monk, and not really the Fourth Doctor. Not really the Fourth Doctor, because minor spoilers, but this is something that happens literally in the first 5 minutes, and what the whole thing is based on is that the Doctor, I think it's even in the description actually. Yeah, I think it's in the description. But the Doctor, who is in presumably his seventh or eighth incarnation, presumably eighth, gets injured and starts de-regenerating, which is how we get Tom Baker in this. So Tom Baker is playing a degenerated version of the Fourth Doctor, who's technically a later Doctor than he was there. And interestingly, Sarah Jane is in this, played by Sadie. Sadie? Yeah, Sadie Miller, who was Elizabeth Sladen's daughter. However, for Sarah Jane, this takes place just after she has left the Fourth Doctor in Hand of Fear, literally just as that has come, which is a thing I'm kind of mixed on, because obviously that kind of goes against her never seeing the Doctor again until school reunion, and her thinking he is dead. And it's not a case of, oh, she doesn't remember this kind of thing, because there's nothing in the story that indicates that. So, yeah, it's just the kind of thing of, okay, bringing her in. And also with Unit, with Kate Stewart, and also Oswin and that as well. And the story itself takes place in the majority of the story takes place in 2012, which is basically just before, like, not too long, obviously, before the events of the 50th anniversary, because we get, apparently, the Black Archive is more of a new, well, I guess not newer thing, but something that Oswing and that doesn't know about in this story, so a bit bigger deal and that is made about it. But yeah, thankfully the story itself and that can actually stand up on its own. But I wouldn't, to be honest, I don't know how many people would actually be buying this just as a standalone story, because it's not really much of a standalone story, but as a setup. It's basically, this one is mostly just kind of a setup, and if it was just that on its own, it is just, just kind of an enjoyable romp. Like, there's nothing, kind of exceptional about it. But yeah, in terms of setup, see where it goes. I think the second one should be releasing soon, at least. But yeah, this also took a while. Yeah, Big Finish do seem to be... I remember when a new Big Finish came out, if it was a CD, like, you get the CD within a few days of it coming out. Whereas now, this has been out for a few, I think a month or something nearly now. Definitely a few weeks. So yeah, seem to be getting a little bit behind in that kind of stuff. But yeah, there we go. So yeah, and I'm assuming this artwork is probably reversible. And again, if you're wondering why I don't open it, I have literally no need to, because again, if you buy from Big Finish, you get a digital copy anyway. And also because of that, the reason I keep all my Big Finishes sealed, if they're CDs, is because if I ever, was strapped for cash and I needed to sell any of my Doctor Who collection, it'd be the physical Big Finish releases. And that is what a lot of people do. A lot of people just buy, the CD physical releases, sell the CD releases on eBay, normally at a pretty cheap price. And obviously they've already got a digital copy, and that's a way they can afford to do it. So, yeah, check eBay for these. So, but yeah, there we go. Oh, yeah, me. That microphone's getting more and more of a pain in the arse to get out of the place. Anyway, it is the 15th of June. It is far too fucking hot today. So yeah, this actually arrived, I think, a day or so ago now. The good news is it's given me a chance to listen to the first story in this box set. So here it is. The War Master Solitary Confinement. So yeah, the first story in the box set, The Walls of Absence by James Goss. Not a bad opening story to this. Not a bad opening story. Yeah. Though, I will say, the ending, it's kind of like, okay, what I'm going to do, depending on how, bit of a spoiler here at the ending. I'm not going to actually say what happens in the ending, but the type of ending it is. So I'm going to hold my hand up like that, and in a second, and when I do, I'm going to say what the spoiler is, and when my hand is down, that's when you know you can unmute it or skip past whatever. So yeah, the spoiler for the end of the first story is, it turns out it was the Master all along and he was lying. So yeah, which that type of story they've done so many times in these master box sets that I'm getting a bit sick of it. To be honest, it would have been more interesting if it was something else. To be honest, or if it, you know, was that. But yeah, other than that, a pretty good character piece. Other than that, so yeah, it's mainly just two characters: the master and another woman. A woman. I can't remember the character's name actually. But yeah, I haven't had a chance to listen to the rest of the box set. Now, talking about the artwork here. So this is the artwork. There we go, there we go, there we go. So, I was trying to wrap my brains about just like Big Finish's current artwork, and you know, just like, because there was something about this I guess made me think, you know, it's missing something. Like, it just looks a bit too sort of bland, especially when, you know, if you're only doing one piece of artwork for the entire box set rather than doing artwork for each individual story like they used to do. Again, save costs, save money. And I think I figured out what it is. It's far too bright. Yeah, it is far too bright. And that's the thing with a lot of Big Finish covers. Like, you know, there's some interesting stuff in there, the padded cell and everything like that. But I think the thing is, it's just far too bright. I think if it had been a bit darker, a bit more atmospheric, or even, you know, it could be a simple dark atmospheric thing. Like, for example, there are Big Finish stories out there in that early catalogue which, you know, have very simple artwork, but they are memorable. For example, The Rapture, which is an alright story, but you remember that artwork. You remember that artwork for it. Another one of the Seventh Doctor's range is Night Thoughts as well. And there's another one as well. I can't remember the name of the story, but I do remember the cover, which is the Seventh Doctor in a straitjacket. Again, sort of like really creepy, you know, atmospheric sort of look. Just like something, you know, that draws you in to, you know, doesn't really give anything away. Just kind of, you know, entices you to, ooh, what is this? Where's this? And a lot of their current art, it's just, you know, I think it's far too bright, and also I think it's trying to shove as many, like, you've got one of two ways of them generally doing the Big Finish now. Either they do a very basic, simple cover with, you know, all the main characters on there, or like this one, you know, they try and shove as many things on the front cover, and that's possible. This one actually isn't too bad, but there's others where they're trying to shove every single little thing from there. So yeah, I think sometimes, you know, it's something more atmospheric one, because to be honest, like, Big Finish covers, you know, a lot of them look iconic and that as well. So yeah, particularly ones like Jubilee, which Jubilee, when you think about it, you know, it's probably one of the most iconic, not just Big Finish stories, but also cover arts as well. And all it is a picture of a Dalek in front of some stained glass windows with a photoshopped on Sixth Doctor, like, within the glass, and it works really well. It's just, you know, but yeah, I've kind of gone on a little tangent there, but yeah, as I said, this one, as I said, I don't buy Big Finish generally CD box sets or CDs anymore, unless they're like special edition ones like the 50th. However, this one I had already pre-ordered in a bundle along with the next two War Master box sets, which goes up to number 11. This is number 9, by the way. There we go. But yeah, and these will be the last to star Derek Jacobi as the Master, because from there on out, basically, I'm assuming he's recorded them all by now. I think he has. I think he finished recording them when it was announced. But yeah, just 2 more Derek Jacobi War Master box sets, and that is it. But the fact that he's done 11 of them, like 11 of them, and also appeared in the 8th Doctor Adventures, and he also appeared in What else could he appear in? Unit, the new series, and Gallifrey the Time War 1. Can't remember. And obviously the Master 50th Anniversary box set. But yeah, there we go. So see, now, something not me now, but it's a shame considering that we won't get a, unless this is the case, that, and they've just hidden that information, we won't get a War Doctor meets the War Master box set. Now obviously we don't have John Hurt anymore, but we do have the War Master Begins box sets, which are being actually pretty decent. Actually, they have actually been pretty decent. So, you know, he could turn up in that, but yeah, and it would have the perfect title: the War Master meets the War Doctor, or the War Doctor meets the War Master. You know, just perfect marketing there. But yeah, and obviously people going, oh, timeline and shit, just like easily timelines are out of sync, or there was a memory erase, or blah blah blah. Just like, doesn't matter, just let it happen. that's the kind of thing. Doesn't matter, just let it happen. But yeah, there we go, people. There we go.